14 August 2026, and this is History Dad Storytelling. So, the year is 1862, and I want you to imagine walking into the White House and sitting down with President Abraham Lincoln. Pretty cool, right? All right, but now imagine that you were part of a group of Black American leaders that met with the president during the Civil War. So that's what happened on August 14th, 1862. President Abraham Lincoln welcomed a delegation of free black men to the White House, marking a very significant moment in the nation's history. So the delegation was led by a gentleman named Edward M. Thomas. All right, and the meeting was focused largely, I should say, on Lincoln's controversial idea about the future of Black Americans and his proposal for voluntary colonization. Weird, right? But it actually did happen. So the meeting took place in one of the most complicated periods of Lincoln's presidency. The country was really caught up in the Civil War at this time. All right. It was, slavery remained legal in much of the nation, and Lincoln wrestled with how the emancipation might fit into a larger effort to preserve the Union. So during the meeting, Lincoln discussed his belief that at the time that some formerly enslaved and free Black Americans might voluntarily relocate outside the United States. Though his position on colonization would later change as the war progressed and emancipation became increasingly essential to the Union cause. So what makes this meeting especially important is that it brought Black American leaders directly into the White House to discuss a major issue affecting their lives and also their futures. It also reminds us that history is rarely as simple as putting a famous person into a hero or a villain role, or just in a box, period. So Lincoln's views on race and emancipation evolved throughout the Civil War, and this is 1862, and this meeting shows that where he stood at the particular moment. The men who met with him were not simply observers of history. They were people actively trying to influence decisions that would shape their communities for the future and the entire nation. So this meeting was very important to American history because it represents an early example of Black American leaders gaining direct access to the highest level of federal government, especially during the Civil War. So only months later, Lincoln would issue what we know as the Emancipation Proclamation, and African American men would increasingly become part of the Union war effort. The journey from the White House meeting on August 1862 to the Emancipation and the enlistment of nearly 200,000 Black men in the Union forces demonstrates how dramatically the nation was changing and how quick it was changing. So understanding moments like this helps us see that American history was not made by presidents alone. It was shaped by ordinary citizens and leaders who pushed their country towards a different future. Wow. Very, very important meeting to happen today. Well, my name is Kirk Weaver. I'm the author of The Wall Still Holds, still available now on Amazon. It is 14 August 2026, and you have a great day.